You all made it apparent that you enjoyed my roundabout with the sniper countdowns, especially with 1,000 likes on one and 600 likes on the other, and lots of you also commented repeatedly that I should have added Novrich to those countdowns even if he didn't submit for the show. And I mean a lot of times, and even a really aggressive comment that YouTube picked up as spam. So I'd say that those videos were a success, and the Novrich's fans, you guys are lovely and very loyal, and trust me, if he submitted for a show, then I'd be sure to add him. Heck, I'd even ask him if he'd like to narrate with me on one of these countdowns to really excite you guys. But for now, let's get into the next highly requested themed countdown before you guys go blowing up Novrich's social media. Since the #1 most voted countdown idea for World War II builds failed by not receiving even a single submission, I thought that I should move on to the second most voted idea. And boy did it take off fast. And I'm sure you'll enjoy what I have in store for you all today. From the Scorpion Evo to the MP7 and even a classic piece you may have never even seen. It's time to check out what has over 21,000 other people hooked. So grab your gummy bears and get a good drink, because you know this is and this would be the top 5 airsoft submachine gun builds. Now without pause, we're going to start off immediately with number 5, which comes from a good friend of mine and a highly respected collector of all things classic airsoft. We saw him last time when he submitted a Tanaka WZ63 or a PM63, and now he's back from Tokyo, Japan. This would be Mason with his Ganzei Sengyo 821 Pro. Now this classic from 1993 was the second and last replica from Ganzei after Tokyo-Marine released their AEG system to the market, meaning this would be one of the first attempts at trying to mimic or improve on that young system. Ganzei released 2 versions of the 821 Pro, an Italian submachine gun based loosely on the Uzi, one of which took 8 AA batteries, while this one runs on a 7.2 volt battery split into 3 sets. 2 of those sets go in the handguard and the third goes under a charging handle, and oddly enough this SMG is equipped with 3 battery connections. The weird rotary all plastic gearbox launches 0.2 gram BBs at only 131 feet per second, but thanks to a factory installed LRB, it now allows 0.25 gram BBs well past 170 feet, but it does keep overhopping them, even despite the rotating cocking system which gives this SMG great compression. This would also be the same system found in the Craft Appleworks M134 minigun. The magazines also feed in an odd fashion by being stacked on each side of the mag and even conveniently pop out of the steel shell for loading. The follower even locks to the bottom to help this. Now this deluxe set came with a foam filled suppressor and the stock was found later on as Mason collected. But unfortunately this gun was a flop for GS, which ultimately gave them no choice but to cease production and disband. This early example of the beginnings of airsoft may be very unique, however there are no mods done to this piece, so it had to just take the 5th spot on this countdown. But that means in no way that it isn't respected and admired by myself or anyone else looking at it right now. But now that your history lesson is wrapped up, we can check out one of the 2 discontinued KWAs on this list. And it would be coming from the state of Georgia, from Andrew with his HPA tapped, drum fed Vector. Shooting at around 390 feet per second at 90 psi, this KWA was modified with an Angry Gun suppressor with an inner Type 4 barrel extension inside, a Magpul RFG, a GMPT-1, an ultralight torch, a Hephaestus recoil power kit, and of course a $200 Reaper Customs Vector HPA drum magazine, bringing the total of this build to about $740, which would actually wrap up the entire build already. Andrew was very eager to enter this build, even going as far to message me just about every day so he could take up a spot. Andrew went to even say that the Vector is an excellent gun with the right modifications, so you can already tell that this player is quite determined to be seen. But there were so many other builds that were submitted into the submission pools that I know you guys would love to see, like this old school Tokyo-Marine Uzi with a beautiful Zeke metal body kit. But that Uzi doesn't stop there, because it's also been equipped with a real IMI stock, pistol grip, and handguard from our 5th spot holder Mason. God, he always has the best stuff, doesn't he? We also have this VFC MP7 from Andy from the UK that's been wrapped in a bit of Krylon, a suppressor fitted with a glass breaker, and a replica T1 as his optic of choice. And of course we had a couple short-barreled rifles that tried to enter as SMGs, but I can at least give some attention to one of them, like this GHK from Joe of GI Tactical. Joe's been a great friend and always knows how to have a good time on the field, and this AKS-74U shows just that. With an Asura Dynamics B11 with B12 rails, an Asura 2 DPS flashlight rail extension with a Bravo Mini Scout light mounted, a Magpul RFG, a Lancer Tactical Red Dot, and an NC Star AK SKS sling. Now these are all awesome builds, and I'm actually getting my own Tokyo-Marine Uzi for myself thanks to another online friend, but with these 3 builds brought to your attention, we can move on to our next spot holder. Now for the real meat of this video, we'll have the top 3, which will show some real craftsmanship, starting with the more established Vector from the state of South Carolina. Representing the Valkyrie Airsoft team, This would be Brennan. Now for once it seems someone else has written a script for me to read, so let's get into this. The reason a Chris Vector deserves a spot in the top 5 Airsoft SMGs countdown is because of their collectability, design, and performance. The Airsoft Chris Vector has been discontinued for some time now, and are hard to come by unless you wait for an EVIC mystery box, a giveaway, or someone wants a trade. The Vector's design rivals the real steel counterpart, and owners can honestly say that the Vectors have some of the best trades over most airsoft guns. Whenever I walk onto the field with this gun, not only do I get asked what it is, but people are intimidated by it at first sight because of how different the gun is from a typical M4 or AK. The Vector is not just intimidating by its looks, but with an RE-Tech NPAS adjustable FPS system combined with an extended inner barrel, this bad boy can adjust to shoot between 320 to 500 feet per second with a .25 gram BB with the twist of a nozzle. The Vector is so versatile and can act as a field rifle with the stock folded out and the FPS adjusted up, or a machine gun pistol built for CQB environments with the stock folded and the FPS turned down. The blowback is crisp and reminds the user each time the trigger is squeezed what a badass gun it really is. Throw this gun on burst or full auto mode and you can dump a 50 round magazine in seconds. Everything on this gun just feels right when you hold it, and to put fear in the eyes of your opponents before even getting onto the field is a huge plus. This Vector features a discontinued RE-Tech NPAS adjustable FPS system, a discontinued Magic Box extended aluminum rail system, an RE-Tech suppressor kit with the 340mm inner type bore barrel, a Sightmark Low Pro green laser sight and Picatinny mount, a replica Surefire torch, and a replica EOTech 552, which brings up the total of this build to $1,095. And with that really long paragraph read out, I think we're about done with this submission. But I know the Valkyrie Airsoft team is not done here. Trust me, they'll be submitting again very soon. But now it's time for my favorite build on the countdown. I'd like to welcome a returning submitter who turned in a rather beastly PKM on our LMG show. It's time again for Stefan from the state of Illinois to show us something special, like this highly decked out KWA Scorpion. Yep, you're seeing that right. On your screen would be a drum-fed HPA tapped Scorpion. I learned when I reviewed the base gun just how fun this replica is, so just seeing this build makes me want to giggle. Dubbed the Russian-style Mini Chicago typewriter, this KWA features a spare arms mock suppressor with an inner barrel extension, a spare arms rear wood grip, a Brain Exploder Scorpion triple rail adapter, a printable Airsoft Solutions VZ61 drop-in tactical package for the top rail, a JG 370 round drum magazine, a VSG-S vertical grip, and an RE-Tech ESD Evo 2 hop-up set. Stefan figured with this setup that he'd run dry on magazines easily, so he made sure to hunt down a couple extended 40 round magazines. But rather than buying tons of 40 round magazines, he had a custom drum mag made for him. The HPA Tap drum mag is made of a 20 round gas mag and an AEG Scorpion drum mag to hold the bulk of the standby ammo. But the original builder of the drum mag did not want to release any more information about it. However, with this in conjunction with the other obvious modifications makes this piece stand out, and when it was submitted many people were sure that it would take the top spot. And I was certain of that as well, which isn't bad reputation to gain for only $461 spent. But there would be one piece of hard work that had to shine from a land far away, from a builder that submitted more times than anyone else has before. But before I reveal this beloved piece, I'd like to invite you to subscribe today to help US Airsoft pass up 30,000 subscribers. You can also help by sharing this video with a friend or two, as building this number up gives us the shot to make these countdowns faster and to do a lot more than anyone else can. So if you just hit that subscribe button for yourself, then I'd like to thank you and treat you to our #1 spot that is held by a piece like no other. All the way from the country of Denmark, we would have a similar named submitter named Stefan with his highly custom Polar-starred Echo 1 GAT. Made to make people appreciate, or puke, Stefan and his company named Airsoft Custom Denmark made sure to use the highest of tier parts to make this cult classic one of a kind. This includes a gold poppet with a red nozzle, a custom grip connect, stock tube with an MOE stock, a heavily modified M4 rail kit, and of course a highly custom merged V2 Gen 3 fusion engine and a polished barrel with an R-Hop system. And Stefan's not finished, as he wants to make a custom drum mag for this GAT as well. He also admits there was a lot of hard work that had to go into it, as the offset nozzle was the hardest part for the conversion. And of course $1,100 had to be blown to make it shoot just perfectly. Stefan, like I said, had submitted quite a few times and always shows his pride with each piece he turns in. And this is no exception, and I hope you guys liked it just as much as I do, because he'd like to know what you guys think about his conversion, just like how the other builders I've shown you here today are waiting to hear what you guys have to say about their builds. So if you have an opinion, then be sure to use the comments down below. But there are so many other builds out there waiting to be seen, and next time we'll be taking a look at the shotguns as they go down the popularity chart. so be sure to show this video around to help us grow so I can quicken my pace. Also, if you guys have an idea for a show, then be sure to leave that idea in the comments down below, or just tell me what you guys like about these countdowns. But I would like to thank Beats by Neef for supplying this show once again with his beats. A link to his channel will be in the description like always, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. This has been Scott Slade Hollenbeck from the city of San Antonio, and I'll be sure to see you all next time.